Look at this stat. In 2025, 42% of people's lives suck, with 71% saying that life is getting worse. If you don't know, that is 3,360,000,000 people. This is an alarming stat. But here's the thing, no one knows what's causing this. So it became my job to find out why. And with intense research, I found out that this is far worse than we realize. I'll give you a hint, it's not our fault. So to begin, you see this country right over here? Well, 40% of young adults here are chronically lonely. And it doesn't end there, because 30% of Americans are lonely too. That's 1 in 3 people. That isn't the only issue Gen Z is plagued with, because let me show you just how bad everything is. So the World Health Organization found out something shocking, right? To explain, in 1950, the amount of people who had a mental disorder was 577,000 people. Not a lot, right? But now, in 2025, that number has gone up significantly. Do you know by how much? Well, it's over 1 billion people. I am not kidding. This has led to many issues, including the strangest problem I've ever seen. If you don't know, there's this thing called the adulting crisis. There are swarms of 20-year-olds complaining about just how hard it is to do adult duties. Basic things like finances, relationships, careers, making this stage of life near impossible. Now, we can laugh at these people all day long, but it actually makes sense why this is happening. Just look around. Everything is so pricey, it's near impossible to get a job, and yet parents' expectations of us are so high. And if you don't know, this is the ingredients for a disaster, and the effects of it are already taking place. Just look at this stat. In 2024, 6,000 people aged 25 to 33 were surveyed, and what they found out was shocking. About 75% of young adults have experienced a quarter-life crisis. This alone has sparked a global decision paralysis. And to show you just how bad this is, let me ask you a question. So in high school, how many people did you know who had no goals, right? Had no idea what was next for them in the future, just nothing. Well, I knew a lot of them, and this has become commonplace. Zoomers are stuck on what to do, to the point where 58% of them do not have a purpose. So that's 3 in 5 people. Wow. Thus coining the phrase, the hopeless generation. This hits me very personally because I had a best friend who was affected by this. Me and him were as close as it gets, right? We did so much together, but in year 12, he would drop out, entering the real world. I didn't speak to him for a while until one day, he messaged me. Out of surprise, I clicked on the chat, and what I got was shocking. After 6 months, right, this guy gave up and became nihilistic. And he wasn't the only one like this. Everyone in high school had this same problem. This made me realize something. At 20, we're told that this will be the time of our lives. But from what I've seen, it's been the opposite. All I've seen is people giving up, becoming nihilistic, and realizing that there is no hope for them. And that's when I realized we're screwed.
Now, that's what people are going through, but it still doesn't answer my question, because here's a dilemma. It isn't just the poor that are suffering, the rich are too. You know, the guys who can afford a house. The reason our lives suck isn't just because of the world around us, it's something much deeper.
This is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. On this are biological needs and desires. Because these are etched into our brain, we want them 24/7. And if they aren't met, you start to go insane. But here's the thing, you'll quickly begin to realize something dark. To show you, back in the day, it was normal for the average man to have a dozen close friends. They would get together, go to the bar, play some footy, but in the big 2025, 44% of Aussies my age don't even have a best friend. Now, why am I telling you this? Well, if you don't know, this is the easiest need to fulfill, friendship. Yet, in today's society, no one can even achieve it. But that's just one example. I want you to guess how much of these needs the average person has fulfilled. 80%? 70% perhaps? Wrong. The answer is 33%, or 12 of the 36 needs. That is incredibly low. And the ones that are usually fulfilled are the obvious, right? Food, water, shelter. However, things like employment aren't even met. This is a massive problem. So why is this happening? Well, let me show you the life of the average guy in 2025. So you're 18 and you just graduated. Looking back, you're happy you're out. Why? Because high school was tough for you. You got bullied outcasted, people barely noticed you, and you only had one girlfriend for 3 months in year 10. But that's not even the worst part, because I'm going to wager something. When you were 15, how much did you play video games? How much did you watch porn without realizing the consequences? Were you eating sugary foods all day? The saddest part is that no one tells you how bad these things are. Because when you finally do know, it's too late. You just wasted your entire teen years addicted. And now you have to quit at 20. This is why you and many others were skinny and lonely as a kid. And believe me, I was the exact same. I was frail and weak, and this made me an easy target. Anyway, now that you're out of high school, you're excited. But this is where things get even worse. When you leave high school, something has gone missing. High school was a social place, so you would talk to people, even if they didn't like you very much. But now, you're just stuck in your room. There's no one to talk to here. Even if school got you bullied, you start to want that back because, hey, at least you had people to talk to, right? This is really bad because you need a social place to fulfill the most important need in life: friendship and intimacy. Loneliness is said to be worse than smoking, and that could not be so true. Because how much have you seen those videos on YouTube where a guy sits in a car and complains about his loneliness? Well, that's because love is the most desired thing, and without it, people are likely to kill themselves. In fact, I went through a stage where I was very lonely in my life. I was by myself, stuck in my room for a whole year because I could not get out. And it was demoralizing. There were times where I would legit go to the gym and forget how to socialize because I never had the opportunity to go outside. But if you were in that situation, what would you do? Because 9 times out of 10, you would make the worst decision ever. You would slump into your chair and distract yourself with video games all day long. This is called escapism, but here's the thing. Escapism is worse than you think. We have an entire generation obsessed with doing this, booting up TikTok to ignore their struggles. And it's gotten to the point where they're getting addicted to it. Now, what happens when you're addicted to escapism? Well, first of all, when you escape a problem, you're refusing to confront it. But when you get addicted to it, you'll never learn how to confront that dark side of you. So what does that do? Well, it keeps you a man-child forever. And second of all, escapism doesn't make you happier. In fact, it does the opposite. Just like a blunt, when you're escaping, you're only nulling the void. It will come back stronger than before. And think about what people are escaping to, right? It's not just innocent novels or video games. It's porn, drugs, and alcohol. These are vices that will conquer you if you're not careful. Just think of Larry Wheels, one of the strongest men in the world. Almost ruined his marriage because he was addicted to pornography. And this leads me to one of the worst parts of modernity. Throughout high school, you were taught that porn was good for you. We've been encouraged to consume it. And not only that, video games and vaping were encouraged too. This has led to what I call the addicted generation. People like you and me who were raised with addiction ruining our youth. I still remember how at 15, because I was so addicted, talking to people was hard. And people could tell, everyone around me could tell. I was made fun of for it. And it made sense, but no one warned me how bad it was. It was just, he acts like he watches porn, haha. The story I just told you is not just a reflection of mine, but yours. We've all had a horrible high school life. We're all addicted to video games, porn, and junk food. We were all depressed and anxious. And now that we're 20, we feel hopeless. I know how all this feels like because we're all forced to play the same game of torture. And with this, it finally makes sense. It finally makes sense why we're all sad. It's not just because life got harder. It's something else. So no one's needs are being met, right? That is true, but that's almost the answer. The main reason people are so unhappy is because if you had hope you would get a house, even if you don't have one, you wouldn't be so miserable. But now, let's remove that hope away. What do you think happens? Well, that's when you start to become depressed. Everyone realizes that they'll never get the things that they want. They'll never get a family, a house, or even a wife. So no wonder why people are depressed and hopeless. Life isn't just hard, it's demoralizing. And that's why life sucks in 2025. Now, before you go, you should hear my story. I went through the same struggles as you. And it was horrible because I was trapped in my room for a year and a half. I have the video right over here. Click it if you want. Subscribe and keep never quitting.